Hello everyone, this is the mining geologist and I am back again with another very exciting and very informative tutorial. So in the previous past tutorials we've been using QGIS a lot, and I've showed you how you can automate stuff in QGIS, how you can create some QGIS actions, and we've even created a simple pit designer in QGIS. You can go and check out these tutorials. I'm sure you're going to love them. But I know not everyone is, is a programmer. Not everyone likes, scripting. So in this tutorial, I decided to make it simple, but the results are going to be amazing. And I'm sure that everyone who's going to watch this video is going to create the maps this way. So I'm going to start with how everyone is doing the elevation maps. Like if you want to use that for your report or like a presentation, I'm going to show you the classic way everyone is using QGIS, and then I'm going to show you this new method that it is really amazing. And if you're a big fan of this channel, and if you stick to the end of the video for these amazing people, I'm going to show you something really cool that you can do with the new method. So it's not just maps, but I'm going to show you something that you will like. So make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and watch the video till the end. Okay, so let's start with really like the basic stuff, like how everyone is doing the DEM or the elevation maps in QGIS. So basically what everyone is doing, they go and right click and you'll have like DEM like this one. And by the way, if you would like to create an application, or if you're struggling with downloading DMs, log in into USGS and choosing the data set and then choosing the area of interest and then downloading different DMs and then combining them into one file to be usable, I've created a tutorial that will show you how you can use just 10 lines of code, and even if you don't know how to code, you can just copy and paste what I've showed you in the tutorial, and it will allow you to have that application that you can use to download any digital elevation model and clip it on the fly, and you can use it directly in your favorite software. So I'm going to try to show the link somewhere in here, or in the description below, so make sure to check that out. I'm sure that you're going to like it, and it's going to be very helpful in this tutorial. So what I wanted to say is that everyone is going to go to the symbology tab, and then instead of single band, they're going to choose like single band pseudo color, and then they will choose like maybe, I don't know, equal interval like 10 for example, and they will have like different colors for each one of these different elevations. Click on OK, and they'll have this map. Now this map is basically for an island, so most of this red is basically water. So what they can do is they can go to properties, for example, transparency, and since the minimum elevation here is, I believe, -6, but let me check that out. So it's -5. So they go to properties and they will set a transparency for that. So telling the QGIS everything that's between -6 and 0, I want you to assign 100% transparency. So so all the pixels that are with a value of -6 or 0, they will be assigned a 100% transparency, so they're not visible anymore. So for you guys who've guessed what is this island, it's one of the best locations on Earth, and I love this place. It's one of my favorite places on Earth. So if it happens that you're there in the next month and you'd like to meet me, let me know in the comments below or reach out by email, and I would love to meet you in person. So this is what everyone, or how everyone is creating these elevation maps in QGIS. Some of them will go to like raster and then extraction contour, and they will do like every 100 meter and let's go and produce 3D vector. So run this. So depending on how big is that area and the different contour intervals, this should take between few seconds to few minutes. So they will change the contour color, for example, to, I don't know, like black. Click on OK. And everyone is thinking that this is what you can do in QGIS. This is the best thing. This is the best results that you can generate in QGIS, but trust me, it is not. If you play around a little bit with some different parameters, you can come up with some amazing results, and let me show you one of these. So what probably most of you don't know is that in QGIS, so currently when we've generated the contours, they are polylines. You can see that symbol there. These are polylines. And we know in GIS packages we have like different kind of shape files or shapes or vector data. We have like points, polylines or lines, and polygons. So I'm not sure if any of you is familiar with generating contours as polygons or not, but this is an option in QGIS. Not everyone knows about it. So if you go to vector or raster extraction, you can see that we have like the default option contour. But let me go and delete this one. And if you go and search for contour in here, you can see that we have like two options. One of them is contour polygons. Okay, so we're going to use that one. Okay, it's exactly the same thing, but what you'll notice here that instead of the elevation, we'll have like the minimum elevation and the maximum elevation. So let's do the same thing and say maybe every 100 meter I want to create a contour, and I'm gonna keep these by default. But one important thing, if you're one of the people who are going to stick to the end of the video to show you the trick, make sure to click on produce 3D vector because you're going to need that later. Okay, so produce 3D vector, and then let's go and run this. So it should be fast. So this one is going to generate the same contours, but now they're polygons. Okay, so you can see that we have the different contours, and if I look at the table, the attribute table, you can see that we have like two different columns: the elevation, the elevation min and elevation max, and ID and FID. So the next thing that we need to do is in QGIS, if you go to the properties for these polygons and go to the symbology, and then you'll notice that we've got like the simple fill and the fill. And if you click on that simple fill, there's this amazing option that not a lot of people are using this one, which is the draw effects. If you've been using Photoshop, for example, you will know these kind of effects because you can use them, you can do them to different layers in Photoshop, but not a lot of people know that you can use these layer styling or feature styling inside QGIS. So let's go and click on draw effects and activate that, and then click on this option here to customize the effects. Now what you'll notice is that we have the same polygon here with the same fill, but you can see that by default we have the source, which means just the polygon itself is being shown in the Canva. But what you can do is you can add an inner glow. You can see that we've got some sort of an inner glow. We can combine inner glow with an inner shadow, so the inner shadow looks like that. So, and the outer glow might not be visible because we don't have like a layer underneath that. But look at the drop shadow. So basically each one of these layers, or each one of these features is going to drop shadow on the feature below it. And this is going to give us a really cool effect that you guys will check in a moment. So then you can play around with these ones. So you can go to blur, you can change the blur for this one. So maybe you can go and increase the blur to like 5 or something, and yeah, you can check the results in here. So I'm gonna keep this by default like 2.5, I believe it was. And so maybe let me cancel this and go back to the drop shadow, and then the drop shadow, I'm going just to make this 1.5, and you can, do different, offsets. You can play around with the radius. You can choose whatever, you can change the color. You can change the blending mode to multiply, normal, or add, whatever. So you play with these ones, and let's go and click on OK, and look at this. If I click on apply, you see that we've got that cool effect. So let me hide this in a moment. So we've got that cool effect that each one of these polygons is dropping a shadow. So maybe you don't need this. So let me go and make this 0 and click on OK again, so we don't see that sharp edges. And you can see now we've got this really cool looking map, and it's sharp. So because we're not using pixels anymore, we're using vector data. And then the only problem with this one is that they're all having the same color, but that's not a problem because we can fix that by choosing graduated instead of single symbol. And then what we can do is we can choose something, or choose one of these different, color maps. So we can choose blue, or this one, or this one, or magma. Or so let's check this magma, for example, and do the invert color. And then maybe we can do like 15, for example, and classify that. And okay. So let me go and choose this one and classify. I'm not sure if that worked or not, so because it's not showing anything in here. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I need to choose the value. So I'm going to choose the elevation max, for example, choose that magma again, and probably I'm going to invert that and choose like 15 again. And you can see that I've got the different colors. And if I apply this now, it should give me some really nice colors. And maybe if I go and invert this one, click on apply, and you can see it's a little bit scary now, but maybe let's choose the blue one, and let's go and invert that, click on apply. So you can play around with the different colors, you can assign different intervals, and maybe what I would like to do, for example, is that yeah, maybe I can add like 30, for example, from 0 to 100. And yeah, I think 30 is too much. Make it just 20. And I'm gonna go and change this to like a gray color, like I'm gonna make it something like this. Click on OK, apply. So that's gonna be like the base of our island, and then we can click on OK, and you can see that the map starts to look amazing, and you can keep on tweaking the different options there. And then if you're happy with the results, you can go and go to the layout manager. You can create another layout, call this 2, for example, and you can go and add that map here. You can go and center this maybe, or zoom in. Maybe you can also change the background to be also grayed out, or you can go and add a text, or add the legend here. That's a little bit too much, but what you can do is you can also hide these. Okay, you can remove the background. So I'm just showing you things and options that you can do. But look at this map here. Look at this. The edges are sharp, and you can see the details, and you have like that 3D effect that will make your map stand out. And you can play around with different polygons, and you can assign different colors, or you can create your own custom color palette, and it's going to make your map really amazing. So this one it might take a little bit of time because of the resolution that we have here, and a lot of effects are going on, but you can see how cool it looks. And now we're not just making a map, it's an art, And trust me, you can even create things like this one and you can sell it maybe. So let me go and show you for everyone who've been waiting for the trick. And I'm sure that a lot of you are going to like this one. So I would like to thank you for sticking here and watching the full video, because that's going to help the channel a lot. And this means that the videos are informative for you, and I would like to know who you are. So make sure to comment below that you've been watching the full video and you're enjoying it, so I know who you are. So the next thing, let's go and make this 3D. So I'm going to show you a mistake and then we're going to fix it together to show you, so you don't have to like say that it didn't work. So let's go and click the contours, and right away we're not going to see anything. Okay, so it's building there. By the way, this is QGIS to 3GIS, and you can see that because they are 3D polygons, you can see some of these polygons in here, but that's not the right thing that you want to see. So let's go to properties. Instead of polygon, we want to set this to extruded, and I'm going to click on OK. Okay, so this one is going to extrude these different polygons and give us like a 3D isometric map. Of course, depending on your location and how many intervals you have, this is going to look different for you. And of course, so yeah, let me just check this. It's still working in the background, I think. Yeah, so there you go. This is how the 3D look, but you can see it's still flat. So there's a problem with this one. The problem is that you need to go to properties and you need to set the elevation to be one of these, either the elevation min or max. So let's use this one and click on OK again. So this one is going to rebuild these, and it's going to assign that the elevation of these polygons from that attribute. So we're going to wait for this to build for a moment, and then we should see a really cool looking 3D map. And I'm going to show you a cool trick that you can do to make this look even better. So you can see that we've got that 3D look, and this one already looks amazing. But sometimes in some flat areas, this is not that cool. One thing that you can do, you can go to scene setting, and you can set the exaggeration. It's already set to 2 now, but I can set this to 1, and this one is going to be flat. So we can set this to, I don't know, like 3, and click on OK. So this one, we're going to have like usually 2 or sometimes even 1 works. And if you go for like 10 or 9, that's going to be too much. But if you would like to do that, you can do it. But just wanted to show you that the option is there, and you can change that if you want. Yeah, I mentioned that there should be a mistake, but I forgot that I recorded this video, like this is the second time, and I've already fixed that, but I'm gonna tell you what it is so that you don't have that problem. So usually if you download a DEM, it's gonna be in WGS 84. So that's going to be the default coordinate system in the Canva here, which is this one with the EPSG 4326. The problem with that one is that you're going to be using latitude, longitude, which are like, between, the values are really small. And if you have like an elevation of 500 or 1000, so the elevation, the Z is going to be way higher than the extent in the X and Y, which is going to give you some funny results in 3D. So, to solve that problem, all you have to do is to change the canvas coordinate to like pseudo Mercator, for example, and the coordinates are going to be something like this, like big numbers in here, so that elevation is going to be smaller. The extent in the elevation is going to be way smaller than the extent in the X and Y, and that's it. That is the solution. So I hope this video was informative and it was very useful for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the like button, and with that being said, see you in the next video.
he's the mining geologist, here to show you all the things that you might have missed. He's got plenty of software tips and tricks for your geoscience lives. So get your fix of mineral exploration and mining engineering information, and check the links, leave a like, and please subscribe.